Father, we thank you as we go ahead. Bless us with the lessons of today. In the end, let your name be glorified. In Jesus' name. Amen. Shall we get seated? I welcome you here and welcome those who have connected online. It's been a wonderful month indeed. Marked with so much rain in Lagos, and it also rained in some parts of Nigeria. So it's a season. So as the rain is coming, so the blessings will continue to come. Hallelujah. So this morning at Prosperity Touch, we have a very important topic. This topic came as a result of what is around us and what is happening every day. We understand that 3 out of every 5 Nigerians have been scammed in the last 2 years. Why? Every adult Nigerian. Why 4 out of 5 are under intense threat to scam? And what has caused this scam? These scammers are doing well in this business and growing because more customers, more people are calling. And because they're making fortune, it's now a societal aim and a concern to all of us, especially the church. People are losing money, losing fortune. Most people have lost their hard savings, hard-earned money, and their capital, their working capital to scammers. And it's growing every day. So for us as a church, we're not going to keep quiet. So this morning we've come to discuss this topic and allow it's going to be pure interactive. We're going to ask some questions and make your contribution to help a fellow Christian, a fellow beloved one who is under the threat. And you know that scammers thrive in this business by using psychology on people. This psychological means has helped them get down on their customers or their victims so cheaply, so easily. But we are so lucky in this church and beyond, or let me use this platform, that will have a doctor. When I say a doctor, it means someone who has done several research, who is a PhD holder in psychology. They'll be coming this morning to join us to discuss these ills, this evil happening in our society. And we must take it seriously. So I will not waste time because we don't have a lot of time to move ahead to invite our own, a very own. He's a pastor, a senior pastor in Watchman Catholic Charismatic Renewal Movement. And like I have said, he is a scholar when we talk about psychology. So join me to welcome to the podium or to the platform this morning, Dr. Chris Abel. Chris Abel, like I said, is a psychologist, lectures psychology, you understand, most factors of psychology. And today, we will comment to the platform because what has caused this happen. So thank you. You're welcome. Sit down, sir. Welcome. You can come with me. I thought you wanted to say something to the people. Have a lot of them online, right?
It's my pleasure again being with us in this platform, and I do hope that we're going to make some positive touch that will affect us generally. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. So, Pastor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I don't know if that statistics is correct or not. That 4 out of every 5 Nigerian adults is under intense threat
to fraudsters, scammers, 419ers. They have various names. But I want to ask you a direct question. When last were you scammed?
Wow,
Or can I say that, have you been scammed as a psychologist ever in your life?
I have been disadvantaged in...
This is semantics. I asked you direct question.
It depends on your conception of scamming.
Okay.
But I think that scamming is all about losing ground in negotiation.
Okay.
When somebody loses ground in the process of negotiation, or you go negatively in the process of negotiation, you have been scammed.
Yeah, beyond that, there is a common one in Nigeria where you lose your money. You know, I like to hit it.
Yeah.
You lose your money, somebody set a trap, and you fall for it, and behold, you have lost your savings, you have lost your seed capital. And it's called 419.
Okay. Now,
so can I ask you again, have you been 419? If there's
okay.
English like that.
I don't remember.
Thank you very much. Clap for him, clap for him. He's a psychologist. So he's qualified. He's qualified to discuss this topic. For me, in the last 1 or 2 years, I've lost money to scammers. And I'm a pride to say that everybody is vulnerable. Now, we found out that these men are growing every day. These men are growing. They asked us to deliver. Let me give you that whole story. Asked us to deliver phone, you know, because these days we do delivery, home delivery, and we didn't know there were scammers. And they took the phone, they scammed the store. At the end of the day, what I mean by this is that we lost that phone. We didn't get any credit. They sent us a lot that they had paid. But behold, it was the doctored alert. And at the end of the day, we waited for the money to crystallize properly. And behold, it was gone. So I can say that in the last 1 year, we've been scammed. Each time they come with this method, we try to, you know, build a defense. They come with another method. So it's a growing thing in Nigeria, and you are here to tell us, you know, as a psychologist, we know that these people are thriving in this business because they use psychology on people. So we want you to just go here and there, throw more light. What are those possible ways, possible means and the style they come with to scam people?
Okay, thank you very much, viewers and the people in the house. The topic is a very challenging one and equally very crucial because every one of us, not just in Nigeria, everyone that has ambition, you have ambition, you want to achieve a goal, financial goal, you want to grow in your finances, you want to grow in your earnings, you want to hit it big, you are a candidate of scam. And I don't know anybody here that is not wanting to be bigger than you are, not wanting to make more money. As long as you have that ambition to go higher in your earnings, you are a candidate. And a lot of people are into it in different ways, but we are concentrating on financial aspect. But I want you to know that even scammers don't only concentrate on financial aspect. They play on your intelligence. And if we look at what it centers on the power of negotiation, your ability to identify whether a particular opportunity is for your good, whether you are going to get the best out of it or not, whether you have conducted the necessary due diligence that should be done before entering into that transaction, before parting with what the other person wants you to part with. And it's about working on your mind, your disposition. You want to make gain, you want to make profit, you want to be big. But then ask yourself, what are the processes of making it? The fact is that before somebody is scammed, most of the time you are drawn out of your secured environment, either emotionally or in any line, in your business or in your area, in your territory. Now, like what you mentioned, somebody asks you to supply food, although it is a general risk in mail order business. Because you have already positioned yourself that when people request, you send to them. And it is part of the risk of that business. Now, the other thing is that the person needs to find out what are the precautions, what are the likely challenges you are going to have in the process of doing that, like the issue of ascertaining payment. You are supposed to call your bank. You are supposed to insist on getting alert, getting that money, not just alert, but that money registering in the account before you part with the goods. These days of technology, many things can be forged. In fact, even your image can be forged. Somebody can take your body and add another, use some photoshopping practices to put your head on another person's body. Motion. There are ways of creating artificial motions. And if you don't know these things, the fact that you see somebody in the video talking is not conclusive that that's the person speaking. So because of this, extra caution is needed, is required in any negotiation you are engaging with anybody. So that is on that aspect. And so whatever you want to do, you want to get into financial transaction or somebody is telling you about work. A recent case of somebody in one of the states, a young man engaging in defrauding those that are looking for a job. Will tell you he wants to get you a job and actually took a certain lady out of the town into village for a certain work, ended up in killing the girl at the end of the day. Killing the girl. And then the issue is when you were doing this negotiation, did they disconnect you from reasoning, from conducting some due diligence to be sure that what the person is telling you is tenable?
Pastor, can I take you from that?
Yeah.
From that, where you stop now, talking about conducting the due diligence. And like I said, the scammers use more of psychology to get people, and you talk about intelligence. Not everybody is as exposed as you are. And we find out that when you want to conduct due diligence, you tend to talk to people around. But in most cases, they use people around you to make you believe that this is working. Suppose people target to scam the church where I pastor. If they get me as a pastor, likely they will get so many people because they go to them and say, even pastor has registered. What are you waiting for? And there is this other one they call FOMO, fear of missing out. Wow, everybody is doing it. Let me invest. Let me invest. That fear of missing out is there. There are other things, they come with a little, like scratch my back. Why I scratch yours? such a person who has that tendency comes to the church, the first thing he does is to maybe buy bags of rice for the church. You know, people will tend to believe in. He will come with a very big car. We had a case where somebody who targeted the church, a particular church, bought a land for one of the parishes. And whenever you talk to him, he say, I bought a land for a particular parish in Lagos. And people believed him because the due diligence thought that, oh, he's born again. He's a member of a particular church. We know the name, you know, for holiness. And so many people parted with their funds. So many pastors were working for him. So at the end of the day, he left with this money. So now when you talk about due diligence at this point, where do we start?
Thank you very much. Due diligence begins from you defining your area of core competence, drawing a line. This is who I am. This is what I want to achieve. This is the line of business I want to be involved in, and I have the capacity to know the pros and the cons. And if I am getting involved in any area that I'm not vast in knowledge, I should be able to communicate with experts in that area who will be able to guide. If you dabble into areas you don't have competence. Now, so many times we talk about trust. There are things that are inside trust. When you talk of trust, for me, trust begins with communication.
Yes.
When you communicate, you connect.
Yes.
You connect with the person, and after connecting with the person, through what you are transferring, the awareness you are creating in the person, you develop compassion. I mean, the person will be sympathetic to your cause. And then from there, the person will now be able to bring out his or her capacity
or intention,
competence to support you.
Okay.
And now consistently support you at all times, committed with everything he or she is. These are the components of trust.
Okay.
Now, if you have not been able to communicate, or you communicated to the wrong person, you will get the wrong information. And as such, that your due diligence will not be complete. If you see anywhere this issue of due diligence fails, it is because all the components of due diligence were not carried out. We are not deployed in carrying that out. Who are you talking to? The fact that somebody is in the church does not make the person qualified to have your money, to take it. It does not justify that, because you know that in any transaction, nobody is alone in it. If you meet a brother and that brother has been deceived by some other person, you need to think that every activity goes in a communal pattern. If that individual has been deceived, the person will equally deceive you.
Sure.
So look at the transaction as something that is involving so many people, and when you want to find out the truthfulness or otherwise, go beyond personal sentiments.
Thank you. I want to take something. Before you move too far away, you talked about communication as a component of due diligence. And we found out that, that's why I kept hammering on this psychological, whatever it is. These scammers don't want you to tell the next man, to your neighbor. They don't even want you to tell your wife. He said, don't disclose it. This is, the way, if you tell another person, they might dilute your gain or one thing or the other. So most people don't communicate. They don't tell their pastors. They just want to do it. They just want to do it. And most times they want you to commit to it immediately. it's part of the game. They will say, we're giving you discount if you are ready to commit now. I made that mistake one day.
Yeah.
They didn't give me a chance to go and think.
Yeah.
So I learned a language, I will think about it. So whatever you tell me before I commit, I must get out and think about it. So, sir, you talked about communication as a component here. What about situations where they don't allow the victims to, to use that component to communicate? What do we do? And that would take me to somewhere. It's a place I want us to discuss.
Thank you very much. Listen, note this thing I want to tell you now. In negotiation, there is what is called the power of redundancy. Redundancy in negotiation. One common thing with very criminal activities is the urgency. The force of urgency, emergency. It creates a scene that, hi, you are losing out. Somebody's on it. In fact, so many people, real estate people, even traders, employ it by inserting a clause that somebody is interested in this. And telling you that the person has made some payment.
Yes, why the offer lasts.
Or, all those clauses are introducing the element of urgency that you have to act now. So, but for you to be free, for you to overcome these scams, you have to be very redundant. Even if you are interested, caution will make you exercise patience. You don't even show the person that you are very, very eager.
Yes.
You are interested, but you show the person that you are not interested. That is a general principle in negotiation. You have seen something, this thing is very, very good. But in negotiating to win that thing, you talk down on that thing. You say, this thing, what is it?
Yes.
Look at, you begin to point at negative aspects of the thing in order to bring down the value before the person.
Yes.
So when you are negotiating, don't show the force of eagerness to have it. Exercise redundancy. That will give you opportunity to say, like what you said, I will think about it. It's a practice of redundancy in negotiation. So if you have that at the back of your mind when anything is coming, most of the time you will overcome. And if anybody is telling you, like we have been talking about communication, when we talk of communication, we are not just referring to you speaking to people outside. Communication, there are three, let's say 3 persons involved in every transaction. Yourself, the immediate person that you are talking with, and others around. In communication, you communicate to yourself. That is where you try to tell yourself, look, this is not my area. Tell yourself the truth, that this is not my area, and I need assistance from somewhere in order to properly determine what is to be done here. If you don't talk to yourself, you will not be able to even know how to begin. The next thing is to people around. And if anybody is engaging you in any transaction and is prohibiting you from doing, is hindering you from doing adequate communication, from embarking on adequate communication that will equip you to connect to the reality of the thing. Because, listen, get this fact. Whatever resource you have, whatever talent, whatever thing deposited in you, seed deposited in you, is not just for your personal use. How I wish the people there can put the last, when I talked about contributing to career and wealth, general wealth for kingdom purpose. You discover that there is something in your hands. That thing in your hands you are bringing on the board, it's not just for you. You are part of God's creation. You are part of the societal goodness. When God finished creating, he said, everything is good. the greatness of this country, the greatness of this church, the greatness of your community, some part of the thing that will bring about that greatness is deposited in you. And so the talent or the money or the resources you have is not just for you, it's for the common good. And you should be able to use it well.
Thank you very much. You should be able to use it well. Pastor, let me paint a scenario. It's good we talk about this thing. You talked about people being conscious of that urgency. In fact, there is one particular scam in Nigeria they call One Chance.
Okay.
It's about urgency.
Yes.
This vehicle is going. It's one chance, only one chance remaining. Join. Once you enter, it's one chance. So they call it One Chance. One day I was in an airport somewhere in the Middle East, Dubai precisely. Mm-hmm. So these real estate people, they use One Chance also. Mm-hmm. They say there is this particular, can you come for a dinner? They don't want to talk to you there.
Yes.
So most of us went for the dinner. They will treat you, they will serve you very nice dinner. At the end of the day, somebody will come and talk, and they give you a form, and they will make you commit there. Mm-hmm. And if you're unfortunate in today's world where you have mobile banking, you make a transfer.
Yes.
It's when you get to your hotel, you know that, I've been scammed.
They will tell you that if you drop some percentage now, you are going to get a huge discount.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To push you into acting now. Whenever the urge to act now, introduce redundancy. Wait, because there are many factors. There are many aspects of the thing that
so
may not
what
be
we're learning
disclosed.
this morning is that once anybody introduces urgency, we must what?
Play down on that
We
urgency.
must introduce
Neutralize
redundancy.
it. Yes.
You must introduce what?
Redundancy, so that you have time to consult
You
properly.
need to consult properly and think about it. So go with that word. Introduce what? Redundancy. Now, Pastor, you talked about one aspect, their approach, the ways they get at people. Are there other ways we should look out for? Because I'm talking about, there are many gateways
Yes.
to fraud.
Yeah.
This mobile phone we have here is a super gateway. Because somebody who can come to evangelize, come to your gated estate, we get you on your phone using social media, maybe Facebook friend, this, that. They hit you immediately and you start thinking about it. From there, you start communicating, you start exchanging vital information, and the person is a threat already. You're already under serious threat for scam. So what are the other ways we should watch out for? Because you mentioned one, when they introduce urgency, be careful. What are the other ways? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
No. I'm getting what you are saying.
Okay, is this something you can provide here?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Now, you see, apart from the
Sorry,
issue,
if you have your questions, please, or you want to make a contribution, please send it immediately.
apart from the issue of urgency, the next thing is to hype the benefit. Hype it. Increase it. I don't know some people here, if you know about high yield investment programs on internet, where they offer you, like you said, when those people took you to a dinner, they served you lavishly. They try to beef up their resources themselves, packaging. Be careful of excessively packaged opportunities. The other day in one of the prosperity touch, a brother was analyzing. He said, whatever investment you are making, and they promise you 30%, 50%, 100%, within a day, within a month, within a week, be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful. When the benefit is shown to be larger than life, you should start suspecting. You ask yourself, if this person is making all these things, why introducing it to me? What is the person gaining from this? And some will tell you, oh, we want to better the people and all that. Find out the intention. You need to look out for the intention the person has. And for you to be able to avoid some of these things, you must define the area of your core competence. Mark it. And then let it be known to you that in the world in which we are now, people reach out to others. Communication has become vast. One of the times here I made mention that referral is now one of the biggest industry that is growing every aspect of life. 419ers.
No, sir, before you move from that referral,
Okay.
let me break it down. When he talk about referral, it means multi-level marketing. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
go and bring your brother. Go and bring members of your church. Go ahead.
Yeah. When that referral, they make somebody to bring you, or some people have their site, and they try to introduce another opportunity for you there. When your brother or your sister in the church is telling you about a wonderful opportunity, he is not lying. The person is not sincere. But you should equally help the person to cool the mind down. Because sometimes the incentive to offer them for bringing somebody is so big, so attractive, that they are introducing that into you. It's not only for your own care. It's to be able to get that huge incentive with which they are propagating their dubious activities.
That's all. You mentioned two already. You talked about referrals.
Yes.
And you talked about somebody sticking to his what? Core competence.
Yes.
No, what you mean here? Okay, we'll get to that. I hope time will help us. Pastor, do you want to say any other thing, or should I ask this question?
No, go ahead and ask
question.
question. Maybe.
Okay, questions are coming from people. Question 1 of 2. Are we as a people, even in church, tolerant of scammers who have been successful, often seeing them as having sense, thereby further encouraging such behaviors? I guess what this person is trying to say here, like these 419ers who buy the big cars, we praise them, we do this thing. Okay, and another question, maybe we start with this one.
Yes.
I have seen other forms of scamming, example, marital, where an insincere party scam a brother or sister. How do we avoid falling prey? We're talking about financial scam here.
You know, when I was talking
let's go general.
Yeah, when I was talking of scamming, I said, okay, if you are limiting it to financial area, no problem. But that every one of us is a candidate
Of scam.
of scam. But if you don't take the necessary precautions, you'll be scammed. And the issue is defining who you are, what you want, and consulting experts as to how to identify the real from the fake. If you follow the due process, I talked of due diligence, there is equally due process. If you don't follow due process, you are likely going to end up being scammed, even in marriage. So the issue is this. Listen, this principle we are bringing out is applicable. Knowledge is interconnected. Now, you have something you want to achieve, marriage, or business success, or career success. That is like a product, a talent, an ability in you. That ability, you want to think through that ability, explore. For instance, the people that are doing research. When anything registers, you need to research, even in business, even in marriage. You need to research what are the conditions that make for better marriage relationship. If it is a topic, a solution you want to solve, and a problem you want to solve rather, you need to find out what has other people done. Who are the people that have expertise in this area? And then, from what they will tell you, you now begin to take possible ways of reaching that your goal. And that is why, even whether you go to school, whether it's business or everything, the process of starting anything and growing in it is taking that thing you want to do, either business or marriage or a relationship or anything, thinking very well. In the process of thinking, you are consulting. If it is reading books, you read books. If it is going for workshop, you go for workshop. If it is contacting a coach, you contact a coach that will help you explore all the possibilities of attaining the best in that given field. When you get it, the next thing is to communicate to the people that can be part of it. These people that can be part of it can be your pastors, it can be your friends. If it is in business, it can be your potential investors, it can be those that will work with you until, like what I pointed out in the last thing, you develop a citizenship for that your goal. Those that will buy that thing you want to do and want you to succeed, they constitute the citizens of that particular concept or goal you want to achieve.
Pastor, before you go too far, I can see where they are exciting you here. Eh?
Yes.
Take it easy, sir.
Okay.
Do you need water?
Go ahead.
Okay. Pastor, based on the last thing you said,
Yes.
if you don't want to be scammed, go for more education, either symposium, conferences, ask questions.
Get the knowledge you need anyway.
Yeah, knowledge, yes.
Yes.
Someone has just made a contribution,
Yes.
aligning or, confirming what you just said. The first contribution, I have 2 persons contributing this morning. Please pay attention to them. These, I don't know, they didn't put their names, but I suspect I know their writings. The truth is, the first contribution, there is no all-encompassing part or to fix scamming.
Yes.
Or social engineering.
Sure.
From a technical point of view, your device is a base gateway. Mm-hmm. That's your mobile phone is a gateway, how to get to you.
Yes.
Typically, hackers change their targets to, I'm trying to get this, to hit their main value target. Okay, they change their target so that they will achieve their own target. Okay. A basic part is education. That is only, the person is trying to provide solutions here. For you to stand secure, you need more education. Do periodic education. Do not bank on antivirus solution because it is mainly signature based. Now, I guess what he's talking about antivirus here is when you talk about cybersecurity, to build a firewall. I guess that's what the person is trying to say.
Can I throw more light on this?
I'm waiting, sir. Let me finish.
It's all right.
You throw more light. He said, try to limit your online information. Either the information you give out or, I'm not sure he's talking about the information you get. They get you, okay, don't give out a lot of information online in order to avoid being scammed. You may be careful the kind of form you see, you fill online. Be very careful. Okay, sir, let me read the next contribution. Okay, from the last contribution, you understand that your phone, your mobile device, or your laptop is a very big...
It's a platform,
where
they reach out to you.
To reach out to get you, so be careful.
Get where?
So this person, this other contributor here saying, he said, people should not click information or address sent to their phone which they are not sure about. Number one. People should not join WhatsApp group. They don't have prior discussion with the person.
Yes.
Whoever is the admin of that and didn't call to discuss with you, if you see them join you, you stop. And WhatsApp has also made it possible that you can stop people from do what? Bringing you in anyhow without your consent. Now, 3, people should not engage in phone calls, discussion, claiming to be calling from one's bank. When people say, I'm calling from your bank, in fact, it's like I receive that call every month. Every month, people calling from, sometimes they mention bank that I've never banked with.
Yes.
Now, people should be careful for things they click on Facebook. Scammers' intention is to enter into your privacy.
Yes.
Scammers' intention is to enter into your privacy. And especially if you are, okay, let me not answer this. These are contributions, and I'm waiting for more people to contribute. There's a question I wanted to ask the audience.
Okay.
But you wanted to say something.
Yes.
We have just about 10 minutes.
Okay, no problem. I was trying to say that what the person submitted is in line with the principle of communication. That's why I've been emphasizing on you defining the way you want to go and the route you are ready to take. Even when you want to invest, they tell you, think of the amount of risk you are able to bear and all that. So, in communication, either through your system, through your handset, or even when you watch television and other things, a lot of people come there to reach out to you, communicate to you their idea, their fraudulent practices, and trying to see if you are going to bite, if they are going to develop a citizenship, but that is interest in that goal. Now, if you have determined where you want to go, there is what is called selective attention.
Selective attention.
Selective
Let
attention.
me pick you from that selective attention and ask you this question coming from the audience.
Okay.
I think it will help you to answer it very well.
Okay.
Now, he talked about selective attention. He said, thank you, sir, for coming, and thank you for this topic. How do we identify genuine opportunities, even when it is not our core area of competence?
Yes.
That's number one. Also, apart from communication and consultation, what are the other components of due diligence? You know, you have emphasized communication.
Yes.
As a component and consultation. So what are the other areas of due diligence? But Pastor, before you answer that question, there's a proverb from my town that says, when you see what is bigger than the farm, you sell the barn.
Yeah, but
and so many people have been jumping from their business to another business to make it big. They want to hammer. So I want to know, because everybody here has that tendency. Do we call it greed, or do we call it thinking out of the box? You know, this topic, if I engage you here, I know we are not going to go.
Yes, yes.
So answer this question.
Okay.
Vis-a-vis that information I gave you about proverb in my town. Do I say it in my vernacular, if you understand?
No.
Yeah, you understand where I'm coming from.
I got
so,
it.
sir, what are the other ways to conduct due diligence?
Yes. I did mention you defining the track. Defining what is acceptable to you. Look, generally, even in conducting research, there are extraneous factors, external variables that want to come into what you are doing. You must develop a way of checking it, and that is by defining what you are doing properly. By the time you have defined what you want to achieve and where you are going, it will generate attention capacity. It will create interest in you. So that anything that is not in line with that, say no.
A no.
It will help you to eliminate the things that are ancillary, the things that are helpful in the course you are pursuing and the one that are not. The issue of wanting to do everything. In fact, there's nobody that has the capacity to do everything. Even if you have money, the money you have is limited. And if you have defined the road, the track you are going, it means that anything that is not in line with that, you say, no, this is not my area. You can refer them to another person that is interested in that area to save yourself.
Let me bring you back. You've not answered that question. No. You see, apart from communication and due diligence, what are the other? I think these are the core things you must do. Because this communication you are talking about is a broad thing.
Fine.
Let me add something that will help you also. The richest man in Africa has been selling cement. That's why he made money. He has not moved from that cement. He has been doing that cement and been expanding it outside Nigeria and within Africa. Recently, he just veered into oil and gas. He started building a refinery. And he has built competence in what he's doing. And other things have been flying around. I have not heard him doing all those things.
Thank you very much. I am happy you brought this, because when I'm talking of defining your area, I think some people might misunderstand it that I'm saying that you must only stay in one area. That's not what I'm saying. What? Because I know that if she equally veered into that area, build it to some extent, commit it into the hands of some people, the world can still benefit from that aspect of her passion.
Yes, yes.
Even though she is not directly involved. The problem we have in this part of the world is that when somebody starts something, he wants to continue to have the ownership. But if any idea comes from you, all you need to do is to develop it, commit it into the hands of people for the general good of the masses. And if you don't build it, strengthen it, remove it from yourself, it means that any time you withdraw from that, the thing will collapse.
Yes,
just like the way she withdrew from her law, and that angle collapsed. But if she had packaged it, some people would have been driving it even now.
Thank you. Sure. Part of what is hindering that in our society to delegate is that you give it to someone who will go there and scam you also and mess up the whole thing. But that's not where I'm going. That's part of the fears. Pastor, I have so many questions, but people are bringing more questions.
Yes.
So let me read their own first. This person said, please, sir, with the issue of being security conscious, how do we avoid being scammed with this new government loan ongoing, where you'll be asked to fill in your bank details, including your BVN? How do we know if it is safe? Because though a friend told me it is 100% safe, I don't feel convinced. How do I know that it is not scam? Number one question. Number two, a friend lost his phone password, and in less than 40 minutes, his account was tampered with, his money all withdrawn. Please, what security measure should one put in place to avoid such mishap? Do I answer this last one, or do you know it?
No, let me answer.
Okay,
I think every SIM card, there is provision to put a password to lock that SIM. The code you have.
Pastor, I have a security expert here, cyber security expert.
Okay, fine. Let the
in
person
this church, but I have less than 3 minutes. I don't know.
So what do we do now?
Chinonso, can you answer in 2 minutes? What should we do? Give him microphone. While you are bringing the microphone, Pastor, answer the first one.
Okay.
The first one, he said government loan. They're asking people to, is it real? Do you know about it?
My brother, the issue of government loan, some are real. I have received some before.
Scammers are hijacking it.
The scammers are hijacking it. And, you know, with the CBN's intervention and urging banks to give out a certain money, some people have now considered themselves into loan agents. But many of them, it's better you find out information from your bank. Like some time ago, somebody called us and said, Zenith Bank is giving out some loan to some women and painted. In fact, when the person ended up saying that when they give you the money, you don't need to pay back. When my wife told me about it, I said, forget it, this is scam.
Now what?
Bank cannot give you money without asking you to bring it back.
Yes.
And then they have to give you duration, and it must be women in business already that they will be able to check their capacity to repay. That you don't have anything. And the person was even asking her to bring an incorporated business so that they will use the name to get the loan. I told her, never try it.
Also, that one, there are so many scammers, especially when you see on the other day, somebody sent me a link.
Yes.
A link that's showing me the website address of a particular new generation bank. They say identify the difference. I was looking at it for a long time until when I read down, I saw that one A is written this way,
okay,
another A is written this way. He said that is that is a scam there. This one takes you to a wrong site.
Yes.
This one takes you to a right site. So we have an expert here. Go straight to that question that says, how do we lock our phone against maybe a loss, and the next thing, someone has scammed and they're taking your money?
Okay, praise God.
Hallelujah.
So typically, if you have a Google phone, like Android phone, for example, the best thing you can do at that point is to go to Google and erase it from Google database. It's going to flash your phone immediately. It's as simple as that. Like, let's say my phone lost, for example, and I have an Android phone.
Speak up.
Okay. Typically, you should just go to the phone or anywhere, just browse, log in with your email. Google gives you opportunity to block the phone, actually. Once that phone is an Android phone, you can block it straight away. Using Google, you can do that.
That's
so
one.
That, yes,
Any other one?
So that the hacker
phone
cannot
are
be able
the SIM
to
card.
access it.
The
Yes.
fraud is usually through the SIM card.
Yes.
And another one is to put PND in your post-no debit by
Yes.
calling your bank immediately
Yes.
with another phone. Okay. Are you done?
Then answering the other one about BVN. Typically, what hackers need is when they create this fake form, they just need your email and other details. They can't access your bank with your BVN. It's not possible. What they need from your ATM card has no many digits. The last 6 digits there is what they actually need to hack you. If I have that last 6 digits and the 3 at the back, I don't need your ATM to hack you, basically. So it's as simple as that.
Okay. Chinonso, you're welcome. Chinonso is a hacker, but an ethical hacker. So he's a repentant hacker. So he understands what they do. So that's why I wanted you to answer that question.
Yeah.
Pastor, we don't have time.
Okay.
Yet, these people, all of us here are, vulnerable to this scam. Yet, we've not been able to discuss this topic. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to sample here, among these people here, and know how many persons have been scammed in the last 1 year.
You'll be shocked.
And also know what was their experience. I know I'll be shocked at what the response I will get.
Yeah.
That's what I plan doing today. But I don't have time. Maybe next time we're going to do it. If you're watching us online, ask yourself that question: when last was I hacked? Was I scammed? And how do I mitigate? How do I stand against such? And in the church, Pastor has said to us this morning, don't allow your emotion guide you. Communicate better. Don't say, because it's our pastor that is telling me. If I don't do now, pastor will say I'm not a believer. Please don't part with your money. And another thing you also need to do when you start and you discover that you are under siege. Oyibo man said, when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Because you could find yourself that you are losing money and you are still losing money. And one mistake people make is to use good money to pursue bad money. It's gone, it's gone. Yes. One day my wife told me, the law enforcement agent said if I bring 150,000, I will get that man that scammed me 500,000. I say, give me that 150 first. Let's use prayer. That man will repent and bring it back. So you understand what I'm speaking in parables. So don't use good money to chase bad money. Pastor, I wanted to ask you something on continuity. Yeah. I wanted us to move from scam, fraud, to continuity. Because brethren starts one thing and they jump to another one because they think that one is the best. So we're coming from the area of why they usually get scammed. When they jump into a new area, they don't know very well, and they go with all their energy. And I'm a victim of that. Yeah. I jumped from communication to oil and gas with all my energy, and I burnt all my fingers. Not even one left.
Yes.
I burnt all of them. I started growing new ones. So
Amen.
if you are here and you're listening to me and you're about to make that leap, use one leg first to taste that water and know how far before you limp inside it so that someone don't get drowned. It is on that note I will bring it to a close for the morning. Prosperity Touch. And we give it up to our pastor and the doctor of philosophy in psychology. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for coming.